guys, my name is Nobukumalo. If it's your first time here, welcome to the channel, and if you're coming back, welcome back. Massive thank you for your continued support, and welcome to the many new subscribers. We've hit 1,500 now, which is just amazing. Thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed as yet, whether you're a return customer or it's your first video you're watching, please just click the subscribe button. It's free, but it helps my channel grow. And when you click the subscribe button, make sure you also click the bell that's right next to it, so that every time I upload something, you'll be notified and you will never miss a video. So this video is a follow-up, rather a top-up on the video that I did. It must have been in May, which was about how to apply for a visitor visa for the UK. Surprisingly, this is the highest video in terms of views. I think we've hit over 14,000 views, and also in terms of comments, that is the video with the most comments. And I guess it kind of makes sense, because I always say that on this channel we're always trying to add value, and I'm sure a lot of people would want to visit their loved ones in the UK or just want to come for holidays. So I'm sure the fact that it's reaching so many people means it's got value in it and it's informative. So what I noticed, that there were quite a few questions that were repeated. Like, a lot of people were asking the same questions over and over again, and so I thought, let me do this video to address some of the questions that I might have covered, yes, in the comment section, but it would be nice to have a video, so that if after you watch part 1, which was the process, if you have any questions, you come to this video, and hopefully your questions will be answered. I might not have gotten all the questions that have ever been asked, but I really tried to make sure that those that have been asked a lot, the frequently asked questions, are covered in this video. So let's get going. Number 1, so can I come on a visitor visa and then convert to maybe a work permit? No, you cannot do that. So if you come as a visitor visa, you have to go back, and if an opportunity comes up for work or whatever, you have to go and apply from your country of residence or your home country. So unfortunately, once you're in the UK as a visitor, you cannot then just switch up visas. And then the second question that usually comes with that is that, can I work on a visitor visa? Again, no, you're not permitted to work on a visitor's visa. Whether it's paid or unpaid work, you are not permitted to do that on a visitor visa. Number 3, can I visit my fiance, and then come and get married whilst on a visitor visa? You cannot do this on a regular standard visitor visa. However, you can apply for what is called a marriage visitor visa. I only found this information online, so I'm not quite sure what goes into those visas, but I'm sure if you look it up, just on the internet, it will explain the process. But on a general standard visitor visa, no, you cannot come into the country and then marry your fiance. Can I study on a visitor visa? So I just recently realized that you can take short courses of up to 6 months on a standard visitor visa. Again, I'm not sure what type of evidence you'd need to show, what you'd need to prove to show that it's a short course or whatever, but it looks like it is possible to study for up to 6 months, which is on a short course, to study a short course of up to 6 months on a visitor visa. Again, this information is probably going to be available on the government website. I will link the website in my description box. Number 5, if I'm being sponsored by someone else, so my flight, accommodation, and everything that has to do with my trip is being sponsored by someone else, do I need to show bank statements? Do I need to show a pay slip, my own bank statements or my own pay slip? So in terms of bank statements, you do not necessarily need to show them, but I found that it does help if you do have a healthy bank statement. It does help to sort of show that, yes, I'm being sponsored, but I also have funds to take care of myself. But this is just a suggestion, it's not mandatory. And then on the payslip side of it, if you are employed, I would say provide a payslip and a letter from your employer, just as a means of showing that you are gainfully employed in the country that you're coming from. You really are just visiting, you have a reason to go back. A payslip kind of shows that you have commitments and you will go back. But obviously, if you're not employed, then there's no payslip, so you just leave it as it is. How many times can I go in and out of the UK whilst my visa is valid? So the visa is valid for 6 months. Again, this is the standard visa, because you can get one for 6, 12 and going up. But if your visa is valid for 6 months, it's a multi-entry visa, so you can go in and out of the UK as many times as you want, as long as the visa is still valid. when making an application, how much should there be in my bank account to show that, you know, I have funds to take care of myself. So on the website, there isn't really a set minimum that you have to show in your bank statements. And again, I think some of it depends on the length of period that you said your person was going to visit. So obviously, if they said they're just coming in for 2-3 weeks, you might not need to show as much as someone who said I need to come in for like 3-4 months. But I did my research, and it seems people usually have about £2,000 in their bank statement as a minimum. Yeah, I guess that's just a healthy buffer to show that, you know, there's enough to take care of this person. So I think I would say about 2,000, but then again, it's not a hard and fast rule, so don't take my word on this as law. How long does it take to process the visa? So generally, under normal circumstances, visitor visas take 3 weeks from the date of your biometric appointment. However, currently on the government website, there's a caveat that says visas are currently taking up to 7 weeks to process. I imagine it's still got to do with COVID, or it's got to do with, you know, the healthcare visa thing that's coming, that's going on. I don't know what's going on there, but they are saying that, you know, visas are taking about 7 weeks. So you might get lucky. I remember when I invited my mom and even my mother-in-law, I think they said 6 weeks, but the visas were out in 3 weeks. So I think anything between 3 to 6-7 weeks. So if my friend invites me to the UK and they want to accommodate me, but they stay with their parents, how do they show proof of accommodation? So in this case, I would get the parent or the spouse or whoever's, you know, his name is on the tenancy agreement to write a letter saying that they are aware that, for example, their child is inviting their friend to the UK and will be staying with them, and they're happy to accommodate them. And then they should then attach, you know, a proof of residence or tenancy. So, for example, a tenancy agreement or a utility bill that has their name from on it. But the important thing is that you get the person who owns or whose name is on the lease to say that they are aware that there's a visitor coming and they're happy to accommodate that visitor. So in my application, if I say that I would visit for 3 weeks, am I allowed to stay longer than that, or I would then have to leave? You can stay as long as you want, as long as it's within the 6 months. So typically people advise that if you're applying for a visitor visa, don't write that you intend to spend for 6 months in the UK. Yes, the visa for 6 months, but apparently it's a bit frowned upon if you're going to straight up say you want to stay for 6 months, because that's like a lot. Are you planning to work there? What's the deal? So people usually advise that you say you want to visit for 3-4 weeks, but after you get the visa, that doesn't matter. You can stay as long as you want, as long as the visa is still valid, as long as the 6 months isn't up. Should letters of support, whether it's from your employer or your friends or your family, be written or typed? There's no hard and fast rule on this, but I would type them out. Type them and print them and sign them. It can be an electronic signature or, you know, your wet ink signature, but just type them, because you know how it is. Handwritten things and handwriting and all that can just be a mess. So I would say just type them in English and get them signed. How will I be notified of a decision? So typically you will get an email that saying that your passport is ready for collection, or rather that a decision has been made on your application. So the email will not say that you got the visa or you didn't get it. You just say that a decision has been made and your passport is ready for collection. Now, what has happened in my experience is that almost all the time they delay sending that email. So what I've always done is that if they say 3 weeks, usually after 3 weeks, I will go and check. And of all the time that I've done that, when I went to check, my passport was already there, just waiting in a drawer, you know. So they will send you an email eventually, but I would say after the 3 weeks, just go and check if it's available. You might just find it ready. Do I keep my passport when I'm applying for this visa? No, you don't keep your passport. You hand over your passport, so you will not have a passport for 3 or however long it takes, and you obviously can't travel without it. However, there is a service that you can pay for that allows you to keep your passport. I'm not sure how much it is. I've never used that service, but I think it allows you to keep your passport. So you make your application, you keep your passport, and then when your visa is ready, you go with it to your visa application center, and then they will paste the visa on it. But there is a fee for that. I'm just not sure how much it is, but that's a service that's offered. And then finally, how long before I intend to travel can I apply? So you can apply from 3 months before you intend to travel. So let's say I intend to travel on 1 January. That means I can apply from 1 October. That's 3 months before I intend to travel. So this doesn't mean you should apply. You should make sure you've applied by 3 months before. It just means from 1st of October up until I don't know, December, whatever, you can apply. But you cannot apply on 29 September going all the way up, because your 3 months, haven't, you get the point, like 3 months before. So yeah, I think these were the frequently asked questions, and I hope I've done a good job in addressing them. However, as always, if you do have a question that I missed somehow, or that's a complete different issue, feel free to pop something in the comment section. But I need to emphasize that I am not an immigration specialist, I am not an immigration lawyer. So all the information that I'm giving here is based off of my experience, inviting, like I said, my husband, my mother, and my mother-in-law. So this is purely based on experience. So why I say is that there's some questions that have been asked in the previous video that I simply could not answer. So for example, if you ask a question like, so I applied 2 times and I got a visa, and then I want to apply again, will I get a visa? Or something like, I want to invite my so and so, but I don't have a way to, will I get a visa? You saw those questions that sort of ask me whether or not you're going to get a visa. I cannot answer them, because I'm not an immigration specialist. I'm not a decision maker in the visa application process. All decisions are made by the Home Office, which is the government of the UK. So I cannot say for sure that this will affect your application or will not affect your application, of that, or that if you do this, then you definitely get a positive response with vis-a-vis doing it that way. I unfortunately cannot advise on that. I can only speak from my experiences. I hope this has been helpful. Please like, please comment, please share, and let's help the channel to grow. I hope to see you guys again next time. Have a good rest of the week. Goodbye.